right, so we're gonna get started with this carnivore diet, but before I do, I wanna make sure I got everything in place, and the first thing that needs to be in place is all that good creamer in the fridge there. It's gotta be gone. So, while I prepare and wait, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some beef tallow. If you've been following my videos, you know that I just made a road trip to go pick up a whole cow, and the farmer actually gave me 3 big bags of beef fat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna render this down today in the crock pot on low, let it turn into some tallow. And yeah, I mean, it's really super simple. All you have to do is get your beef here. So if you take a close look here, you can see that the farmer went ahead and he cut it up into small little pieces. You know, it's kind of recommended to go through the grinder or what have you, which would be better. But I mean, these are some pretty small pieces, so they should turn out fairly well. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this beef fat, I'm gonna break it down like so. And then I got a cup of water right here. Just a cup of water into the crock pot. And then we're gonna just start throwing our beef fat in there. And then on the crock pot, all we're gonna do is we're just gonna set this onto low. And we're just gonna let it simmer and go for the next 3, 4, 5 hours, however long it takes. But let me get this in here, I'll get it turned on, and we'll check back in about an hour or 2 to see how the rendering process is coming along. All right, so we're about 4 hours or so into rendering down this fat. We still have a little ways to go, but as you can see, it's coming along just nicely. Can't wait for this to be done. Let's give it a couple more hours and see what it looks like after that. All right, so we're looking at about 10 hours here. It's still got some of those bubbles coming up to the top, which means that I still have some water in this tallow here. So we're gonna have to let it go a few more hours, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop out some of these chunks off of the bottom. That was basically just some leftover meat that was in the fat there. So we'll get that out, let it continue to render for a while here, and get back to it later tonight. All right, so this beef tallow has been rendering now for about 15 hours, so quite a long time. Last night I went ahead and removed all that junk on the bottom there, turned it off so I wouldn't burn down the house. So it did solidify a little bit, but it was liquidy. So I turned it back on this morning, so it's been going about 5 hours today. But as you can see, those bubbles are still there on the top. Just waiting for that to clear out. That will mean that the water is gone, and we'll be able to get this into some jars and start using it here in the near future. So I'll let you see what it looks like once it's done, and then we'll get it in the fridge. All right, so this beef fat has been rendering for probably about 20 to 22 hours or so. We're gonna call it good. It looks pretty clear. It looks like it's all rendered down the best that it's gonna get. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this beef tallow and we're gonna run it through this strainer right here. And on top of the strainer, just gonna have a cheesecloth. So wish me luck here.
I hope it's good.
Hope it's good.
That's been juicier than I've ever seen. Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. It's getting juicy.
Juicy. Beef fat.
It'll get juicy. Almost gone.
All right.
Gone.
Now we're just gonna go ahead, let that run through. Once that runs through, then we're gonna take these jars here. We're gonna run it through the cheesecloth one more time, and then we're gonna let it sit to solidify. So I'll bring you back once it's solidified, and we'll take a look at how it turned out. Well, our beef fat is done rendering and solidified. Ended up with about 64 ounces of beef tallow here. If you take a look at the top of this one here, you can kind of see a little bit of water on the top, not too bad, but that's solid. It's solidified really good. We got a couple of these here with really nothing on the top. So very happy with the whole process. Can't wait to start using this tallow on some of my cooks.